Hello everyone, my name is Matt Scorpion and welcome to my favorite time of the year in Destiny 2. Now, I will be covering everything about Eververse, that's wrong. Well, I will be doing that, but I will also be covering Festival Lost in another separate video. I'm just going to cover some of the basics that go over what happened and broad appeal stuff. So, that being said, when you log in this week, obviously it'll tell you Festival Lost is active, some of the new stuff, but then aside from that, it also tells you that there's currently an active Vanguard booster, so there's currently a double Vanguard rank booster going on. If there's any reason you need to grind out Vanguard, if you wanted to grind it out, reset it just so you can get the bonus perk drops, now is the time that I would recommend folks to go and do it. But right now, our current Adept, Grandmaster that is farmable is Fallen Saber. Now, what the weapon is, it was Mindbender's Ambitious, Mindbender's Ambitious, I almost talked about Ambitious Assassin, but it was Mindbender's Ambition last week for its Adept, and this week we do have Duty Bound Adept currently. It is a pretty solid auto rifle. Gotta admit though, for an Adept, it's not that worth it. Currently we do have Barrier Auto, so if there was something that you wanted to stun champions with, that would work. But at the same time, it's probably one of the lower quality weapons we have currently available, I would say. Still some solid perks, though. I definitely would recommend it for general guns. But then, as well, we have, for Fallen Saber, we have Arachno for Fallen Web Mines on Vandal Kills. Overload Barrier Champions, because it's Fallen, mostly. Chaff for no radar, then Grandmaster modifiers of Match Game, Equipment Lock, Extinguished, Limited Revives, and Mob Champions, with Solar and Void and Arc Shields available, as well as an Acute Arc Burn for the Strike. Basically, arc hurts. I would recommend people bring arc weapons. Then, into everything else, nothing new with Gambit per the usual. Crucible, we currently have Clash as our rotator game right now, so if you wanted to play anything in that area, that's that. Iron Banner, I might expect it in the next 2 weeks or so. I would honestly hedge a bet, just because it's starting to get a little later in the season. Then, we still have our usual Crucible Labs on that. Then, for our Legends content, for our weekly featured, we have currently Vault of Glass, which means Vault of Glass Master Mode is back for anyone that wants to go for the Time Lost ones. Of course, per the usual, every challenge is available, every Time Lost gun is available, and is currently Strength-focused armor from the Vault of Glass in Master Mode. And like I said, it is also the weekly one, so it is a pinnacle drop for the average complete. Then, for King's Fall, it is Oryx Challenge right now, which, if I recall, is basically do Oryx in one phase. Which, if I recall, there's some way you do it in the form of duplicating bombs just like last time, but I'm not 100% sure on that. That just don't copy. It's basically just Oryx Challenge, though. Then, also, we have Discipline-focused armor for the Master Mode grinding. Then, into the rest of the world for our dungeon currently. It is not Grasp of Avarice. It was... Wait a minute. It was Bit of Heresy. Well, I'm going to assume because it's back in the Dreamy City. We actually did the full... Yeah, it says back to the Shattered Throne. It's a very quick one, very easy pinnacle, very easily soloable, even if somebody has only half so well built. Its sandbox hasn't been updated, so everything is quite squishy in that dungeon. But then, into the rest of the world, for the Throne World, we have, for Vow of the Disciple, we currently do have Defenses Down Challenge, which is, I believe, Third Encounter Challenge, which is basically the same person can't kill the Knight with the Disciple Nut more than once. A bit of an annoying one. I haven't done it, but at the same time, somebody's done it. And then you also have the Last Chance, which is basically the second to last mission. Yeah, no, this is the second to last mission. This is where you go into the Apothecary Wing, find out that Savathun was chosen by the light, and all that sort of stuff for your Ascendant Alloy farming. Now, into the rest of the world. Now, into the Helm. For Catch Crash, currently, the boss is the... Wait, that's the wrong one. Skiffix, which is the weird Vandal that has the rotating elemental shields and lots of trip mines in the arena, if you wish to take that on for Master. Speaking of seasonal content, we also have Legendary Psyops Battlegrounds Arena, so it is currently in the European Dead Zone, and if anyone still needs that. Now, lastly, before we get into more seasonal stuff, for our Dares of Eternity rotations in Legend Mode, we do have Taken, Cabal, and Zydron for our current rotations. Now, in terms of the season, since the season has no longer progressed in any way, we got to the last week of our week-by-week process for this. We're not going to be getting any new ones. I won't have a dialogue or cutscene video out for the remainder of the season until something else happens by the end of the season, whether it's the reveal for whatever next season becomes, or it's the closing statement, something happens, ending event, something like that. But aside from that, that's pretty much the end of the seasonal content, so no need to visit the Helm if you've already completed it, aside from grinding out your Umbrals and all that. But of course, the events are still there. Now, into the rest of that, we still have one more week of triumphs or challenges after this, so it is time to see. Now, for Season of the Plunder on week 9, 2 reputes still available. I think we're going to get maybe more, because I definitely don't think this is enough. But in Expedition, gather treasure and defeat ruffians. You need to kill 10 ruffians and secure at least 50 treasure. That seems very off balance, because you can do 50 treasure in one run, but you can only do 2 ruffians in one thing. Man, Bungie definitely screwed up the ease of use on some of these things. And then Seeker Cache 3, summon First Mates in Expedition and Catch Crash, all to decipher the large treasure beacon available in the star chart. Like I said, if you've already gone through all the treasure beacons, you won't need to do this. It's already mapped off, but then you just need to summon 15 crewmates. You also have Battery, defeating targets with linear fusion rifles and defeating slowed combatants. Defeating combatants in Catch Crash and defeating Guardians will award bonus progress. So you need a linear fusion rifle and Stasis. I do believe Reed's Regret might work both ways, although I might also recommend something with Chill Clip. And we also have Armory Wide, calibrate kinetic, energy, and power weapons, bonus progress against champions. Just use all 3 of your weapons. That's a pretty easy one to do. And then for Gambit, Cold Lightning, defeating targets with arc or stasis effects, bonus progress for defeating Guardians. Trial by Firing Squad, which is win 20 rounds of Trials of Osiris. A game win is 5 rounds, so you just have to win 5 individual rounds across however many games. You'll be awarded a free weapon. Hard to say what it might be, but it's likely one of the new ones. Either the bow or the shotgun, I think. Then we also have Arc Vanguard, defeat combatants with arc or stasis effects in Vanguard playlists. And then we'll have one more week of challenges, hopefully some more repute, because I'm still not sure we have enough to complete it, judging by what's left. Regardless, moving into the rest of the world. So I shall cover Banshee, and then I shall cover Festival of the Lost and how it's a little bit different this time around. So, what Banshee has in his inventory, in his spooky inventory, we have Syncopation 53, Outlaw Frenzy, a pretty good PvE role currently on it, although this one is also craftable, so I'd, per the usual for craftable ones, recommend that if you want it, just make it. Staccato 46, Well-Rounded and Rampage, not that great considering this is one of the few weapons that could spawn with Incandescent initially, so I would recommend you find an Incandescent role if you want a solar build, but then at the same time, it's got some pretty alternate good options anyways. Annual Skate, the usual appearance of the possibly best Crucible hand cannon that's available to literally everyone and not just the PvP gods. And same thing with Fugue 55, pretty meh, probably better for Crucible just because, you know, Sniper, if you got the Sniper skills, you got the work, but then there's that. And then 2 heavy weapons, both of them craftable. If you need the weapon or just need a linear fusion rifle, need a Palmyra, I would recommend that you pick it up for bounties. If you want to put this in your loadout, I would recommend against that just because, like I said, craftable, you can make something way better. Now, into Festival of the Lost. Now, the way this works is obviously, as you see, the tower has been spookified up. There is unique consumables and craftables based on this event. Currently, with the Halloween event, you'll find, especially in these trees and a lot of things, that little blue emote right, or that little blue emote right there, that is candy. That is essentially a event currency that is only available for this event. You can get some free ones in the tower between the tree here in the main tower and the tree over by Ikora that can all be climbed. It's just dependent on how good you're at it. And aside from that, Festival Lost is basically the Halloween event. It's all about wearing masks and that sort of thing. But then at the same time, once you come forward, you get a quest. It'll take you through the first steps. Now, there is still returning and new weapons. They tell you right here, candy is the currency. It's base currency. Then you also have spectral pages. Basically, it's kind of a, how do I put this? Complete random events and you earn manifested pages. Complete the Headless Horror Lost Sector, or the Haunted Lost Sector one, and then you get spectral pages, which I believe is how you farm loot. I think that's how it works. That's based off of memory from last year. But currently, we have a new sniper rifle based on the mech theme, and it's Macabre, which is a new aggressive frame arc, what's the word? Sniper rifle, with a new origin perk in the form of Search Party. This weapon is granted faster aim down sight speed and movement speed while aiming down sights with no allies are near. So it's basically it sounds a little more Crucible focused, if I'm honest, but at the same time doesn't sound half bad for just general, what's the word, effort? But currently, its roles seem pretty decent. Perpetual motion and moving target seem like decent enough perks for snipers. And this does look like Dreaded Vision, now that I realize what it is. I wonder what this was restored from. Now, the old weapons, they also have been updated a little bit. They now have the old origin perk. So Jurassic Green from last year, I believe it has the same perk pools as before. Then Braytech Werewolf, it has gotten a new perk pool, but no origin perk. That's curious. It's gotten updated, so it's got shot straight, but it also doesn't have an origin perk. Same with Horror Story, which appears to be a static role now that drops curated. Well, that's weird. But aside from that, per the usual, there's masks. You have to wear the masks. You put these on, and then you are able to put any of the masks you have in your inventory on. Basically, this is kind of like the Guardian games with the thing. You have to be wearing this to actually progress anything. So, on that same note, there is Horse Cosmetics. There is a Heaviverse store available for the 3 weeks. I would check that out if you want anything spooky. And of course, because you might have seen it before, but because this is a new set of events, we also have the event card, which is some unique challenges you can earn for the thing, and you can also upgrade to the event card. You can claim some stuff for free, which includes a new cat sparrow that I know that people were looking at, and might be disappointed that it's locked behind a thingy, but you know, it's the game. And then at the same time, we do have some other cosmetics that are available for event tickets earnable through the challenges. That is Festival Lost. I will have a guide full about it soon. But my name is Matt Scorpion, and I'll see you in the next video.